In Egypt, they worshiped Horus, child of Isis and Osiris. In ancient Persia, they celebrated the sun god reborn, Mithra, on December 25th. In ancient Greece, they celebrated Adonis, and Rome celebrated Apollo. That's what paganism is. These Gentile nations worship the same god within the same story, just with different names. But this reborn sun god's birthday was celebrated during the winter solstice. Sun worship is one of the main pillars of all pagan religions. Sun worshippers and nature religions held major celebrations at the winter solstice, which is, as they believe, the victory of the strength of the sun over the forces of darkness that try to suppress it. So this is the background of pagans' worship on this day, long before Yahshua ever entered the scene. So let's discuss when Christmas came about. So we are now past the time of the death and resurrection of our Messiah. Belief in Yahshua was spreading all throughout the Roman Empire. As I showed the other pagan nations that worshiped the birth of the sun god, like I explained, Rome was no different. They had a pagan festival called Saturnalia. Saturnalia, from December 17th to the 24th, was a week-long festival with torchlight processions, gift-giving, and merrymaking, culminating in a winter solstice feast on December 25th. Well, after Yahshua, the worship of the sun god continued widely throughout the empire. In the year 274, Roman Emperor Aurelian declared the god, now called Sol Invictus. He was now the official deity of the Roman Empire. Aurelian built a splendid temple of the sun in the conquered sun. Later on, in the 4th century, Constantine became emperor of Rome. The cult of Sol Invictus was still at its height, and the portrait of the sun god was on the coins of Constantine. Like I said earlier, the followers of Yahshua were growing in number in Rome. Constantine claims to have a vision of a cross and converts all of Rome under the religion of Christianity. This was not because he was a true believer in Yahshua, but a way of squashing the conflict between the pagans and the ones they classified as Christians. Either way, what Constantine did was mesh Rome's already known pagan beliefs with belief in Yahshua. Yahshua was plugged in as the sun god reborn, and Mary was the mother goddess. There was much gelling of beliefs that later formed the Roman Catholic Church. Much of this was done at the Council of Nicaea. So let's see and understand what he says about traditions. Yahshua himself said in Mark chapter 7 verse 13, making the word of Elohim of no effect through your tradition, which you have handed down, and many such things you do. This is exactly what we do.